Hello my scrapping friends, I'm Deborah Kozelbeck and welcome to Creating Your Memories. I'm a Creative Memories Independent Advisor from Australia. Today I want to share with you an idea of a beautiful page layout by using, you could use over leftover scraps or if you don't have the scraps you can actually cut them from your designer paper. It's good to use a collection. That way all the colours combine and match in with each other. As you can see on my desktop, I have the layout that I completed as my sample in Sweet Summer. And you can see in this layout how all the colours combine and mix and match with each other. So this layout is easily to be done. It's just a matter of, like doing your rows of little tags, and then you've got that rest of that area up the top for your photos. And I've also done it in our Croptoberfest paper, which also looks lovely, and I've backed it on a navy cardstock. So today I will be showing you how I completed this layer, and I will be again using the Croptoberfest papers. So to get started, what we need is a piece of cardstock as our base, and then another designer paper for our base also. You would need your 13 by 13 inch cutting mat. You'll need your decorative trimmer, some repositional tape, and some microtip scissors or any type of scissors that you might have. And then you also might need your multi-purpose tool, a ruler and a pencil. So to start off with, how I completed this layout is I've cut some little tags, and I'll give you the measurements to those, and they are 1.5 wide by 2.5 long. I've already gone ahead and pre-cut some to get myself started because it is very time consuming and it does take a little bit, to cut and tag every one of those, but I will show you how I did those. So I'm just going to put this aside. I'm going to bring in the trimmer. So I have 1.5 by 12 inch strip. So what I'm going to do is then I'm going to cut each of these at 2.5. I think you get probably about 4 out of one strip. So it's a matter of just having, you probably need all up, I think it's like 28. So all I did was mix and match the colors in the collection. So I had different colors, different design on each tag. So now that I've cut those into 2.5 long by 1.5 wide, the next thing that I did is just turning it, letting it match, not putting a full crease in it, and then cutting up to make my tag. So I will do that with each one of my little paper strips. So it's just folding it in half, not putting a full crease in, and then just cutting up. I'm not measuring each one, making sure that each tag is the same size. I'm just randomly just cutting up and making my tag. So then I've done that. Just going to put these ones aside. So then I'm going to bring in my designer paper and a ruler. Just find my ruler. And a pencil. So I'm just going to be evenly lining up my paper on my 13 by 13 inch mat. So I know that my tag is 2.5. So then I'm going to draw a line at 3. So that way my tag is 1/2 inch from the bottom when I layer them on. And then to show a bit of tag on each, I'm then going to rule a line at 4 inches, then 5 inches, oops, went up a little, and then another one at 6 inches. So I'm doing 4 layers to make it my half of my page with tags and half my page not, but you can always stop at the 5 and just have 3 layers. So then after ruling our lines, I've got all my little tags of different colors here on the side. So now I'm going to get my repositional tape, and on that 3 inch line I'm just going to run that repositional tape all the way along. And then I'm going to start off with my tags. So I'm just going to be randomly putting these tags down and making sure the top of the tag is sitting on my ruled line. So I'm just going to go through and alternate the colors. You can put them in a little system of doing the same colors, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be randomly just putting them along in no specific colored order. So I'm just following that line as we go along. So no particular order, just doing the colors. I think I might leave the brown. I might do this light color. So because I've got the brown, these 2 different browns, the same color as my base, I would always go to the next line before I start administering the brown onto the layer, because if I put that brown now, it's just going to clash with my base page. So just continuing along. So I'll be able to fit one more tag at the end. So I might use, just looking on the reverse side of my tags, I think I'm just going to use this light one again. And my first line of my tag. So the next one, I'm going to do exactly the same and putting that repositional along that next line, which we lined up at 4. Use my brown. So I'm just going to line the top of the tag on that pencil line again, and then going along in any specific order of putting on my tags. So I might do this brown one. So as you can see, now that I'm adding the brown, it looks a little bit better because it's below, just going to turn this on the side, it's below the next one. So now administering that next tag, you can see that I've got a bigger gap, but even though that these are all the same size, so I think I've done something, mixed up a little bit on the way. So I'm just going to lift that up and do it again. This is the great way of using, using the repositional, is because if you need to move, it's easy to adjust. So it's just going to do that again, because when I did my other layer, I actually had like a 1/4 inch gap at the end when I finished, and that's how I used it to make my like frame technique on behind. So I'm just going to keep lining that up think I might start from the reverse end because that all lines up there. So just refixing these. So I'm going to continue on down the line of doing my colours. So the next one I might do is this nice blue here. And then might work in this lighter colour now. And then maybe this darker blue. So now I'm just going to use my repositional again and go along this line and start my colour coordination again, like starting at a different colour. So I'm just going to start at the opposite end because I do have a gap. And as you can see, this tag here is a little bit longer, so I'll trim that one off. Sometimes I find it easier just working on the side because you can actually see that a little bit better. I use this blue. And then use that one as a brown, so I might use this one here. So that's our third line. So now for our last line, I'm going to do the same thing, is lining up our repositional tape along that pencil line. There's no need to rub that pencil line off because you're not going to see it once we have completed this layout. So I'm going to start off with a brown. And then the blue. And then another blue. See, that's making it a little bit shorter again. So I might go with one of these ones. So I might go with this one. On the line. And then we might go with the blue. Sticking it on. And then, which one did I use? Can't use that one. I might use the brown. And then go with this blue one. And then for my end one, I might go with this colour. So now that we have completed the bottom, I'm going to bring back in my 12-inch trimmer. I'm just going to turn this around because on that one edge, they do line up a little bit differently, which I have allowed for that. This is why I never cut down my paper before I started. So now I'm going to line that edge up on the 1/4 inch line, and I'm going to cut it up. Make sure that I've cut through, which I haven't. So I'm just going to use my microtip scissors and just cut that edge off. So then I'm going to get the bottom and I'm going to cut 1/4 inch off the bottom as well. So putting the trimmer back, I'm now going to bring in my cardstock. And as you can see, when we lay this down on our cardstock, then you've got that little frame behind. So on the other one that I did cut out the back to make that frame, so I've got like saved on cardstock. Not actually saved on cardstock, but I was going to use that to back my photos, which I did in this one here. I've made that long strip and made the photos 3.5 by 3.5 and then put that down there. But on this one, I think I'm going to leave it so I've got that support of the weight behind it, because the tags do weight it down a little bit. So I'm just going to get my tape runner now. Just going to put some tape runner on the back. And then I'm just going to lay this down on the base of that navy cardstock. So it's just a matter of lining it up evenly, making sure that it's, you know, get the same width in between. So I think it works out to be around about 1/8 on either side of that. Just moving it, making sure that it's nice and even. I think that looks pretty good to me. So the next thing I'm going to do, making sure my cardstock's lined up on my mat, and I'm going to bring in these Croptoberfest stickers, and I'm going to use that border sticker to put along. You can use a border sticker, or you might have a favorite border cartridge that you might want to use, and that would also look nice along there. So when I'm putting it down, I want it to overlap a little bit down on, you know, where my last strip goes, so I can't see that. So I'm just going to bring that down a bit, probably 5 3/4, and then matching up with 5 3/4 on the other end and sticking it down. So there we have the base layout, which is similar to this one but different colors. So the next thing that I need to do is my photos. So I've decided to use these photos here. I'm not sure how I might put them on the layout as yet. I do like the trees in the background of this, so it just makes the photo. So I'm not sure if I'm just going to be using the one photo or the both photos, but I'm also going to back that with a piece of navy cardstock, which I did have. So I'm just going to find that now. So I've just got my packet of scraps here. So I'm just going to bring in my photo pencil, if I can find that. So I'm just going to line up, you might not see this very good, but I'm just going to line up my photo on my 13 by 13 inch mat, and I'm going to trim off probably 1/2 inch at the bottom and 1/4 inch on this one side. So I'm just bringing in the personal trimmer now. So I'm going to cut 1/4 inch on that one side and then my 1/2 inch down the bottom. So that will bring my photo to 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. Now working on the other photo. So I do want to keep most of those trees in the background. So I'm thinking I might do Might do the same size actually. So 5.5. So I cut that down at 5.5. So it's 5.5 long and 3 3/4 wide. So that way that the photos are both the same size. And then we're going to cut our photo mat. So they would be 5 3/4 by 4. So 5 3/4, just lining that up, and then by 4, and again at 4. So we can put that trimmer back away now. So now I'm just going to place my photos down on my photo mats. So just eyeballing it, making sure that you've got the same distance in between. And as you can see, that brown in the background of these photos goes nicely on the navy blue and makes the photos really stand out. Navy and, you know, you like your different browns is a nice combination of colors. So bringing that back in. Now positioning in my photos on my layout. Thinking something like that, or the opposite way. I think I like it the other way. Something about it just looks a little bit better. So I am going to bring one photo down on the tags. So I do like it like that. Both of the photos are just on a different angle. So I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to adhere my photos down on my layout. Just let it sit there for a moment before I push down. Making sure that I've got them in the right spot. Oops. So I think like that. So I think I'm going to do it like that. So I'm just going to push them down. So that's my photos down. I didn't adhere or layer or, you know, use repositional tape to press down, you know, my tags, because it just before, you know, like putting in the album just to show you, it's nice how they lift up a little bit. And it's the same with this one here with the Sweet Summer, how the tags are lifting up. It's like a nice little combo. So getting back to the layout, so the next thing that I'm, you know, need to do is just embellishment or, you know, put some stickers down. Okay, now that I've cleared a little bit of stuff, I've pulled out some of the embellishment little pack from the Croptoberfest, and I've also got my stickers. So I've cut a strip which is 1/2 inch by, I think it's 4.5, and I might stick that one just along here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to make a little flag at the end so it ties in with our design technique at the bottom of our page. So I'm just going to get some repositional tape. So I'm just going to line this up. I am going to be using my ruler. That way, you know, I'm getting it on a straight line. So starting from your left hand side, I'm lining that up at 4 1/4, which nearly reaches the bottom of this photo. I think I might go over a little bit more. Probably about there. And then I did want to use this sticker here, These Moments. So I'm going to pop that on here, and I'm going to be using some foam squares. So I'm going to place this one here, and then I might use probably a couple of these little leaf things. I think if I use this, it might clash with all my colours. No, I'm not going to use that. Oops. Stick that on there properly so I can use it again. I do have the feathers. Feathers don't look too bad because then I've got a combination of these 3 feathers as well. Or, so I might use this lighter one, so I'm just going to use my repositional tape. And I'm going to curve that one round about. Yep. And then I put this one underneath. And then just seeing if the feathers look, we're using them pretty good like that, or stick that one back down. I think I might use the bigger one. It's actually curving the opposite way. I think I might be changing my mind about the feathers. I think I might go with this leafy after all. So I can put that, oops. I'll put that here, and then if I want, I guess I could use the small little owl. Oops. Okay. I might put him with foam squares as well. Alright. So I'm going to put that one down here, put him there, and I'm going to put this little title here. And coming back to my stickers, got this white heart. That's a little bit too big, so I might use the little white heart. Put in that one there. Then I might use the brown. No, I might use the darker brown. Just one little cluster, and I've got this nice design down the bottom. So I'm thinking that I do like this bit here, and I was thinking maybe I might be able to do some kind of little cluster up here, something similar to what they had in the Croptoberfest, the way they've done the heart and the leaves. So I think it was something like, this. So I think I'm going to raise my heart. Just putting some foam squares on that. Just going to turn that around. So if I put my heart, I'm just going to hear that down. So if my heart goes there, this will go something like that. I'm going to put my heart down in the middle. And then this little leafy comes in, so I'm just going to put this one up there. And then the blue heart down the bottom. And I think that's all I would do on that layout. I don't think I would do anything else. I don't want to overdo it on the layout. So as you can see with the layout now, the by using, you know, that little cluster on that right hand side, and then you've got that little cluster down the bottom. I'm not going to be doing any journaling on this page because I don't think it actually needs the journaling, and I do like the layout as it is, but I guess if you would like to do some journaling, you know, depending on how you position your photos, you might be able to do it down the side. If I bring back in this Sweet Summer one now, you know, with the journaling on the Sweet Summer one, I'm actually going to be doing it on this little, it's like an embellishment mat that came in the embellishment. So I'm just going to write a little bit of journaling on that. So, and as you can see on this one, I didn't do a lot of cluster with stickers and embellishments because I don't feel that it needed a great deal because you've got all this color, you know, technique down the bottom. And I'm thinking the same thing with, you know, the Croptober one. I actually do like it like as it is, and I loved how the navy cardstock really stands out on the browns. You know, on this one it's got the trees which coordinates with the photos, so it's another reason why I decided to use the Croptoberfest in this collection of this design. And as you can see also with, you know, my other little sample here, how everything nicely blends in. So I'll probably just add a couple on this one, a couple of 4x4 photos, but I wouldn't cover it down like I did on the other one. So I do hope you enjoyed watching me today. If you scrapped along with me today, or you know, learning a new technique is great. I love how these little tags look nice down the bottom and really makes the layout. So if you've got any queries, please just let me know and I'll answer anything you like. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell if you know, wanting to know when I release another video or tutorial on, you know, anything it might be. It might be, you know, going from a sketch or a new design or a new punch. So send me some love and thank you everybody. Happy scrapping.